Hello and welcome to this Sunday, July 28th, 2019 episode of Apple Sidekick. Today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Apple Watch Series 4 specifically, and I have a few notes about it. And ultimately, I had watched a review by a guy before this, and I've been thinking about the Apple Watch for my own usage. And I wanted to go a little bit deeper. Let me see. I was trying to find this so I could tell you the guy's name, but apparently I had exited out of it. So anyway, my notes are about the design and comfort. The look and feel is really different than a traditional watch. And with the Series 4, they just refined that look and feel. It's the unique Apple Watch look and feel. There's not really any mistaking it with other watches except copycats. So that's really interesting. So he said it's more in your face than unique, more in your face and unique from a traditional watch, which I definitely agree. Now, I do love on the Series 4 that the bezel is shrunken and the screen goes more closer to the edges. It looks a million times better than the older version, Series 3, 1 through 3. And really, it's kind of funny because Series 1 wasn't the first generation. But he also said the glass was pretty strong, which I've also experienced. I have worked in construction with the watch on, and while I did have a case on it, it didn't protect the screen. So I hit the screen fairly hard multiple times thinking it was going to be broken. And when I looked down at it, it wasn't. And that was the original Apple Watch. Now, I have seen a lot of people with them broken. You hit the glass just right and it's going to break, especially from pets and stuff like that, dogs, strong dogs. I've seen a lot of people where dogs have chewed them or dogs have jerked their hand and smashed into a table, stuff like that. So it's not... bulletproof by any means or dog-proof, but it is pretty strong. Performance and battery life is a huge difference. Now, real quick, he said the auto brightness is quite good. It's a lot brighter than the original versions, and I never really had much of an issue with my brightness either. So he said putting on the watch, sometimes it pulls on his hairs. I haven't had too many issues. I actually like the way the Apple Watch band goes on. So it's all personal preference. Performance is great overall. Siri is his biggest complaint. I have issues with Siri. I don't even use it on my Apple Watch, my first generation one. Great call quality. The speaker and microphone, they've continued to improve over time. He said he actually watches, when he's at home, most of his calls he does through his watch. So that's pretty cool. I have kind of thought about the same thing. Most of my calls now are on speaker. So I really would like to get an Apple Watch. It's about the expense, and I don't know when they're coming out with the Series 5 now that I've waited so long. We'll get to that in a second. The battery lasts all day. Leaves him with up to maybe 40% at the end of the day. It can last halfway through a second day, but it's not a 2-day watch. You should charge it daily. Luckily, it does charge fairly quickly. He recommends a background because, of course, it's going to use less battery life with that type of display. Notifications and calls are similar with other smartwatches, and the special thing about it is the ECG, the electrocardiogram. It's the same thing as an EKG. I looked it up. They're the same thing, and it has to do with the translation into German with a K. So that's been disabled in a lot of places. The screen isn't that big of a deal. You can get a Series 3 for considerably cheaper. It's personal preference, budget, along those lines. The Series 3 does offer many of the same things, but it's not the latest and greatest. And when the Series 5 comes out, then you're 2 generations behind. If it's not a pressing matter, you can wait till the next generation, probably. If you have a bunch of money, you really want one, okay, go buy it. But just be aware that in the fall, they may release the Series 5. I haven't looked too much into the rumors because we really don't know. They could release it in spring. They could release it alongside the iPhone 11. We really don't know. I'm probably going to wait for the Series 5. I would like the faster speed, but right now it's not as important as other priorities. I have a lot of other priorities that are much better investments. In all honesty, I would rather upgrade from my MacBook Air to a better computer and trade in the MacBook Air and then the cash to get something better. But I got a great deal on this. I'm probably not going to get rid of it. I'm probably going to end up spending about $3,000 on an iMac or a MacBook Pro. So I don't really have the extra money in my budget for an Apple Watch right now until the next generation comes out. That's my recommendation. Wait for the next generation, or buy used if you can get a great deal on used. Used is always great. I bought my first generation Apple Watch used for $180 when the Series 2 was out at that time. So, all right, thanks for another episode of Apple Sidekick. I appreciate you guys.